The post-grad life is not as glamorized as you think. And as someone who just graduated in May, I can confirm. Anyway, let's get straight to the point of what post-grad life looks like and just my reality of it. So I graduated this May with my bachelor's degree in business administration, and I majored in both marketing and management, and I also minored in new media. And also, I am pretty confident in the direction that I want to take my life in. It's more so, how do I get there with the circumstances that I am in right now? So the first thing first, we're gonna talk about jobs. The job market actually sucks. I did everything that you are supposed to do to get a job, and I have yet obtained any job after post-grad, and that is the reality of so many other entry-level people. And when I mean I did everything right, I did everything right. I had 3 internships. I was on board in 2 orgs. I studied abroad twice. I have a mentor. Now, luckily, I did have a summer internship, so that kind of added more onto my resume, but that ended in August, and now we're in October of 2024, and yeah, it's been like 2 months. No job. Now, the whole no job thing, I'm grateful that I don't have a job, but I'm also very stressed out and I do want a job. The grateful side is that I finally get the time to focus on myself and kind of relax. And instead of doing things for others all the time, I'm finally being able to do the things that I've always wanted to do. The part that is stressful is that there are hobbies that I want to do. I want to be able to have that luxury of going out again without worrying about how much I'm spending. I want to have the luxury of traveling again. I want to have the luxury of buying clothes. Those little things that I was fortunate enough to have and that a lot of people are very fortunate enough to have, I want to be able to do those things again. And no money literally means more problems. Like, I'm in so much student loan debt that I would like to pay off in the next 2 years, but if I can't get a job, that is going to extend longer and I might not be able to pay it off for 2 years because it's going to accumulate more interest, and that's also stressing me out too. But the pro side as well, when I say that I'm able to focus more on myself, content creation is something that I always wanted to do, but during school, I never had the time to do it. It was always off and on. But literally ever since I graduated, I have been consistent. I have been posting YouTube videos every Sunday. I've been posting on Instagram every single day. I've been posting on TikTok every single day. This is something that I want to do. And eventually I would like to have it to be a long-term thing while I'm also working my 9 to 5. What's also great too is having the luxury of being able to process the last 4 years of my life. And it was kind of like when COVID happened back in 2020, I was able to use COVID as a way to reflect on my teen years and like my whole high school and things that happened to me in high school and kind of reflect on those, set new boundaries, and kind of become a better version of myself and kind of set myself up for success on how I want the next 4 years of my life. So now that I have the luxury of doing that again, I'm very grateful for that, and I'm basically kind of planning on what do I want the next 4 to 5 years of my life to look like and who do I want to become in the next 4 to 5 years. That is me with the job. So if you're someone who just doesn't have a job, you're not alone. Hopefully you and I both, we find a job, and hopefully I can come back to this video in the next year and be like, cool, we finally got a job. Like, I have a few side hustles that I'm doing that are making me money, but that money is literally straight going into my student loans. That money is not for me to spend on traveling, shopping, the hobbies I want to start doing. Like, literally it's going straight to my loans. Now, the next thing, mental health. What does my mental health look like after post-grad? Everyone's mental health, I think, is different. I watched a few post-grad videos before making this one, and a lot of people said they're in a life crisis or they have post-grad depression, they don't like their life. Personally, I'm grateful that I'm not experienced the post-grad depression. I'm glad I do like my life. But what I can say with mental health, like 90% I feel amazing, but there is that 10% where I do have times where I am struggling. Like, there's that 10% where I am going to have those bad days, or just I'm having negative self-talk and I'm not being the most kind to myself. And I do want to be more vulnerable with you guys, so to be more transparent. So an area of my life where I'm not doing the best right now was literally a day before my graduation where I just got out of a relationship. So that transition from being in that relationship to getting out of it and also graduating at the same time was huge. Like, those are 2 huge life transition. Graduation is a huge transition, and also having to move on and leave someone that, you know, you thought that was going to work out with. So you do change. You change as a person out of this relationship. You also change as a person now that you're out of this school environment. So I had both of these things going on in my life, and the healing process of that breakup kind of took most of the enjoyment from my graduation. I wasn't able to fully process my graduation. It was immediately, we're going to heal from this breakup because I don't want to deal with these emotions emotions forever. And it is what it is. And thankfully, I did start therapy a month after that happened, so I can deal with that damage and heal in a very healthy way and continue on in my life. So besides me going through two major life transitions and having to deal with both of them at the same time, let's talk about friends and social life. So with friends and social life, I was just involved in so many school orgs, so I knew a lot of people. During school though, it was very hard to identify who are my people. I know way too much people that I can't really pinpoint who are the genuine people in my life. So I think I'm very grateful that finally I got out of that environment, and the people who are in contact with me today, I know that they are my genuine true friends. But another thing that is now something that I'm currently going through with social life and friends is that a lot of these friends are friends that I've made in student orgs. So when you are in these student orgs, most of the time, the thing that you have in common is what that student org is. And I was in a lot of business student orgs. So we talked about business stuff, networking, and just the org itself. So kind of graduating and getting out of that and reconnecting with those people, it's hard to not talk about those things, but the thing is I don't want to talk about those things. So I've been working on trying to transition from those type of conversations to having more personal conversations and actually getting to know my friends more on a deeper level rather than the level of what they put out themselves to be in the student org. And also I'm allowing them to know me on a more deeper level rather than the version of me that was in that student org. When it comes to social life, another big aspect I do want is I want to meet new people. And I think that's where it's tough, because if you're me having no money, staying at home, yeah, I'll go out here and there, but like most of the time I'm at home doing my own personal work that I'll get into later and how to keep yourself busy. But doing my own personal things, like there are hobbies that cost money that I want to do. And I really want to do martial arts again. I used to be a martial artist for 9 years. I want to go back into it, but this time I want to do kickboxing. And I just feel like that will bring in a fresh new set of people for me. Yeah, I go to the gym and stuff, but the thing is, like, I see the same people every day for the past 5 years. I've been going to different gyms here and there just to like meet new people, get my face out there, be like, hi, yeah, I exist. Like I just want to meet new people. I'm ready to have new people enter my life. And like the main reason why I also want to meet new people is because like the version of me in school is definitely very different than the version of me who I am today. And I want to find people that I can resonate with today. And nothing wrong with my friends today. I appreciate and love my friends today. It's more so I'm ready to meet more people who resonate with me right now and the interests that I have right now. And next I want to talk about what it's like finding yourself post-grad. Ever since I entered preschool, I wanted to get out of school. So I have been mentally prepared for this. That is why this post-grad life is very easy for me and the transition wasn't dramatic. Like during my senior year when COVID happened, I was so happy that I ended school in March. I was like, finally, I'm done with high school. Like I don't have freedom over here. I need to leave. And thankfully, COVID came to the rescue and took me out of that place early. Anyway, speaking of COVID, that was the last time where I had the chance to kind of find myself again and kind of take the time to be with myself one-on-one and be very introspective on who I am as an individual. And kind of, I feel like a lot of times too, when you're so surrounded by so many people, there's this false personality that you start to create, that your subconscious creates, and you're not aware of it until you get out of that environment and you're like, oh my God, I've been fake this whole time, or like I have not been my authentic self. And ever since I graduated, being my authentic self has been the new challenge for me. And I always set these big challenges for me. Like one challenge I used to have was defeating my social anxiety. I did make a video about that if you guys are interested. And this next challenge I am in is kind of being more of my authentic self and presenting myself authentically in real life and online. Going back to what I said in the beginning, healing from the damage after a breakup and kind of moving on with your life from an environment that you've been in for such a long time, you do change as a person. So I'm basically relearning myself, and I love learning more about myself. So this is not an issue for me. And like, I don't get anxiety about it. I'm not worried about the future. Like, this is something that I appreciate. It is tough because you're healing from a lot of things and you're going to have moments where your mental health is not going to be the best. But when you process those emotions, you come out stronger. And that is the plus side. And that is the best part about it. And where I was here, May 2024, to where I am in October of 2024, definitely a completely different person, definitely have new values, new boundaries, new standards, new different type of appreciations, like new everything. Like, I wish I can go back to myself in May and like let her know like it's going to be okay and you're going to come out to be even better than who you were before. And so that's what I can appreciate when it comes to finding myself and the experiences that I had to experience during the summer. And then speaking of hobbies, kind of going back to that, I've been having more time to explore my individual hobbies and what I've always wanted to do. So like I'm teaching myself how to skateboard. I'm literally teaching myself Spanish. Like I have kids books that I read and then I use ChatGPT to help me. Oh my God. If you guys are interested to know how I'm learning Spanish, like let me know in the comments below, but I want to share this with you guys. And like I just teach myself for about 30 minutes a day. You know, it's not much, but I'm literally just started a week ago. So I want to get into a healthy habit. But like these are like all my notes. Like I'll get something from the book and I'll go to ChatGPT and all of a sudden there's like more information that I'm learning about like these nouns, verbs, masculine, feminine, all these stuff, and it's amazing what you can do on your own. So I'm doing that to challenge myself. I also got into running and I've never thought I would get into running, and I just ran 2 miles last Thursday for the first time in my life. I am 22, guys, and I have never ran 2 miles in my life. I've been learning calisthenics too since November, and I'm just getting better and better. So yeah, those are like my little individual hobbies, but I just can't wait to do group hobbies with just new people. And when it comes to finding yourself too, I really like how I can finally do things for myself and not for others. I talked about this in one of my videos about mastering discipline, but basically it's nice to finally do things where I can hold myself accountable and I'm accountable for the results instead of having to go to school and I have a professor saying you have an assignment due and they're holding me accountable, or when I go to work and they're saying I need this project done by this date. It's nice to finally not do the things that people want me to do for them. I can do the things I want to do for myself, and I've been growing so much intellectually with all the stuff that I've been learning on myself for the things I've wanted to learn forever. But yeah, speaking of side learning, so I'm going to start a certification next week. I'm already registered and everything, and it's a course and it relates to my major in marketing, but this is more so about how to create brand value. So I'm very excited, and this is hopefully going to help me leverage a job when they see that certification on there. And as well, I've been doing a lot of YouTube learning. So a lot of things like I've been learning right now is like storytelling, building a personal brand, becoming more authentic, more on like articulating my words better, or how can I speak to a camera as if I'm your friend and not a teacher. So much things. I've been reading so many books. And the last thing I want to talk about is just building a routine. I've always been good at building a routine, and I know this is something that people struggle with. And if you struggle with a routine, I highly recommend that you watch my video on how to master discipline. It will help you out because having a routine is all about having that discipline, how bad you want something. And I really enjoy having a routine. I've been having this routine probably for like 2 years, and I'm glad I've stuck with it too. Like I wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. every single day besides the weekend because I have things I need to do and I don't want to feel rushed. I like having slow, long days because I feel more energized, more complete, and not rushed. But other than that, I hope that gave you kind of a preview of what post-grad life looks like for someone. And this is my post-grad life, and hopefully you're related to that. And a big thing that I hope you guys take out of this video is, number one, if you don't have a job right now, make sure you are doing all the things that do give you credibility to have a job that will beat you towards your competitor. You know, you're competing between everyone. Hey, if you're in marketing and you and I probably applied to the same job, you and I are competitors. Make sure you have a resume that's going to give you a competitive advantage. If you guys want a video about that, let me know. 2, make sure you're continuing education. It doesn't have to be anything related to what you studied. Just educate yourself on new things that you've always wanted to learn. 3, find a hobby. Don't sit in bed all day and watch anime. And lastly, make sure that you are always checking up on yourself when it comes to your mental health. And if you need to start therapy, go for it. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and a comment. Let me know what you're going through during your post-grad. Let me know if any of my advice helped you. Let me know if you're curious to learn more. Trust me, if you guys want anything on resume help or social life, like literally anything I mentioned, like if you have a question and you need a video about that, I will make it. And if you like my content, I would appreciate if you subscribed. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.